We're the talk of the town. We're the artists, the actresses, the filmmakers to meet in Venus. Yeah, we're coming through. Shine your light, let your voices be heard. We're spreading love with every single word, from the stage to the screen. We're making our mark. Me and Venus, together we embark.
Good evening. I'm very happy to welcome today Natalie Jean. She's a singer and songwriter. How are you, Natalie? Everything is fine?
Yeah, no, I'm great. Great in this crazy world of ours. You're in this.
Yes, we're on. Go ahead.
Yes, I'm doing well in this crazy world of ours.
I asked you about your interest in.
Oh, I didn't hear you because you once I said hello, you cut out a little bit. So I didn't hear the question that you had. And if you're saying something, I don't hear you now. Three minutes to go. I don't hear you at all. Do do do. Da da da. Dee 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 doo. Do this one. Should I leave the studio? Should I go back in? You tell me.
Hello. Yes,
Now
Natalie.
I can hear you now.
Yes. It's like you mentioned, it's a crazy world. Yes.
Yes, it is.
I asked you about your early beginnings and your interest into music. How did it start?
I grew up in a household
Yes.
where my
Go
father
ahead.
was a singer. He's an entertainer. And so he used to sing to me all the time. He sings in English, French, Haitian, Creole, and Spanish. But even when he was singing to me, I wasn't really interested in the music industry at that point. I did grow up watching Elvis Presley and all kinds of different
Hmm.
artists on TV. Elvis Presley was the biggest influence in my household. Wasn't until after college when I moved to New York City, I was having a lot of
Hmm.
experiences in my life. I was depressive. And so I used to start writing spiritual poetry. And then my parents were like, well, why don't you create those into
Yeah.
demos? I did. And I took, I believe one or two of my father's songs and created the demo with that. And so I did that and then I did nothing with it. But several years later, I submitted my songs all over the internet, and one of the companies found
Yes.
it. They're now bankrupt, a tape music group, And they said, "Oh, we want you to sign an agreement, blah blah blah." I was very green then, didn't know anything. Signed something with them, and they created my first album, Obsession, which had, I believe, 8 songs on it. But they never did anything with it, so I left them and I just started to pursue my own thing within the music career. But I never thought I would be able to do that because I was extremely shy at that point in my life, and the idea of singing in front of people was crazy to me. So it all started out by, writing spiritual poetry. That's how it all started.
Yes. Tell me about the most important thing you started to write and perform. So tell me, how did you start to promote your own songs and and to spread it, to gain like some fans in the United States?
Well, for me, I first started out by writing songs about, love, relationships, and all that stuff. But as I went on and on and on and created more music, I decided that I wanted to, be more of an effective player in life. I wanted to write about social impact songs, climate change, homelessness, police brutality, racism, women's rights, and stuff like that. So that was a different dynamic to try to push and promote. I decided to get on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. What's weird about my TikTok account is that it's not mostly about my music, but I do talk about the different social issues that are out there. And then so people gravitate to my music that way. And I'm able to use some of my songs because, I have songs about mass shootings. So I can, if there's something going on in the world, I can put that song behind another mass shooting, which is very big here in the United States. But mainly, I've entered a lot of songwriting contests, music awards, because I find that's a great way to promote because you have other people listening. But basically, I've used Sound Campaign, Muso Soup, Playlist Push, Play MPE, which is a radio promotional service, YouTube promotions. There's a thing called Fiverr where you can get different people to promote your music for you. I've gotten reviews. And done my own craziness on social media, where social media is actually the free way to do things because it's very expensive to try to promote yourself doing this music industry. But that's basically what I've been doing, and being authentic. I think being authentic with your music and why you write is very important to be able to gain fans and promote your work. If you're saying something, I cannot hear you. Alrighty. Okay.
Natalie, yes, I'm here.
Yes.
Today the
Okay.
question is crazy, like you mentioned. I want to ask you as well. I'm very interested because you speak about other stuff sometimes, like TikTok and social media, but you try to lead your audience to discover your music. Okay.
Right.
I want to ask you, did you face any kind of censorship because you speak about socio-political issue related to the surrounding and the current situation in America? Because I know social media sometimes they censor a lot of content as well, even if it's like a comment, of
Right.
your, yeah. So tell me about it. Do you have like a sense that you have like freedom of speech, or do you feel like some kind of censorship?
Well, with Facebook, it's really interesting. So if you're posting something about anything about politics,
Mm-hmm.
actually have to review you. You have to give your driver's license, all kinds of things to be allowed to post that information because of all the fake news in the past couple of years with all this presidential election. So I am approved to be able to post politics. What happens on Facebook, I did a Facebook boost recently for my song My Body, which is about women's rights. What you get there are comments from people that can be very nice and they can be downright nasty. Some of these people that don't understand the song or women's rights. One person said, "I hope next time you bleed out, that I
Mhm.
hemorrhage out," meaning that they hope that I die. There's been a lot of negativity. There was one woman that was nasty, but the rest of them have all been men, which is
Mhm.
funny to me, which they don't
Yes.
understand anything. So when you deal with social impact kind of music, you deal with a lot of, you can have the positivity and you can have a lot of the negativity. You just have to deal with it. It doesn't bother me because I'm just trying to be an effective player. The way that I create my music is not about trying to get people to, oh, it's my opinion, you have to follow it. No, what I want people to do is to put themselves in somebody else's shoes, to really take time to think about the situation and what they would do in that particular situation.
Mhm.
um, TikTok is a different story. So recently I did a music video for my song My Body, and in the first few seconds of the clip, there's a news clip about people protesting one of the protests they had around the world. And so on TikTok you can promote your music for a fee. And so I tried to promote it, and then all of a sudden I was tagged. And they were like, okay, they say it's either that somebody complained about the video or it's because it has some political stuff, because TikTok has some guidelines. I don't even understand their guidelines. That you can't promote those kinds of things, which is weird because there are millions of videos of women's rights, abortion protests, and all that stuff. And so now they said that I can't that I can't promote anything till 2034, which
Mhm.
is ridiculous. 2034,
Mhm.
I could be dead in 2034. And rapists get less sentences than that. And
Mhm.
I've been appealing and appealing and appealing and appealing. Here's the funny thing: I can still upload my videos, do all kinds of videos that I want. It's just that I can't pay them to promote my music anymore. The funny thing also is that I released My Body through Sound On, which is
Mhm.
which is an the TikTok distributor of music. And I'm like, you
Yes.
all don't even make sense. So I said, how are you promoting my music? So, and in fact, I plan to do it on TikTok on the fact that they've done this to me, so they can see that I'm not a pushover. The funny thing with being a social impact message artist, a lot of people say artists shouldn't talk about or sing about the political views out there, but that's kind of crazy to me because back in the day, 1960s and the 1970s, we had plenty of artists that became famous
Mhm.
for singing about the different things that were going on in the world and created protest songs. So I firmly
Mm.
believe that if you're going to live in a country, I don't care if you're an artist or not, you need to sing about it. If you want to write about it, go ahead. If you want to sing about it, go ahead. If you have amazing fans, they're going to already know who you are as an artist.
Mhm.
Um, I've had people contact me and say that, Natalie, you're just not afraid of anything. You put it out there, you put out what you believe in, and you do your thing, and we're very proud of you. One thing about me is I don't want to leave this earth and not have people know that I tried to do my best to be an effective player to make a difference in the world, because music has the power to heal, to move mountains. It has the power to help people. So that's my end goal.
Yes. You mentioned in the 60s, the 70s. I remember I met once Harry Belafonte in New York, the
Mhm.
African Film Festival in Lincoln Center, and I've seen a lot of his old interviews. In the 60s, the 70s. Marlon Brando as well was
Right.
quite open about many actors, and still later on, right now, I remember meeting. Tim Robbins in Cannes
Hmm.
Festival, and Susan Sarandon, where
Right.
they are quite actors who are really
Yes,
politically aware. They are not, just a face, or just I don't know how to say it. They are. I mean, they are human being and
that's right.
part of the society as well, and they should have a voice, right?
Right. They definitely should have a voice. No,
Hmm.
I agree with that 100%.
Hmm. But
So,
yeah, yeah. But right now, do you think of any alternative way to promote your music? I mean, I've seen your website as well. You have all your repertoire
yes.
published. But do you think about YouTube, for instance, Spotify, or right now as well? Such platforms are quite limited, to a certain genre of music or lyrics.
Well, for me, what I've done with my body
Hmm.
is I have placed it on. Well, it's gotten placed on a lot of Spotify playlists
Hmm.
um, because I've used these different sites. Ugh, why is it? I don't know what. I've used these different sites to get it on playlists.
Hmm.
And before I get it on playlists, I put it. I tell the people this is what the song is about. Some people don't listen to the song because I'm on this other site called Space Loud, and that site is for influencers. So you can share your music on there. There's a monthly fee to do it, and so they come to you and they give you, oh, they have a business proposal for you. But one guy was just like, oh, what I asked him, what are you going to do with the video? He said, well, I'll have two people walking down on the beach. I said, you didn't even listen to the song. Nope, that's not going to work. So it's about finding the appropriate people that you can work with and
Yes.
getting the song out there. One of the things to do besides social media is to contact blogs, is to contact music online magazines, female women magazines, podcasts. This is all the stuff that I need to do. I've contacted
Yeah.
a few people.
For
I
sure,
did it.
for
Yeah,
instance, I discovered your work through the press release and
right.
contacted you. I think the press releases are quite a very professional way.
Yes, yes,
It's an old-fashioned way, but I think it's very professional and it reaches really, people who like to read, who like to analyze a little bit,
right,
because I have a thing against social media. You flip rapidly everything. You are on Facebook
mm,
or YouTube, you're flipping. I mean, the information is there, but it is very superficial. I mean, not deep, like you're reading a magazine,
right.
reading a book, right?
I tend to agree with that, but it's also the way that you present your social media.
Yourself. Hmm.
Because like I said, my TikTok is so very different. I take screenshots of things that I've read about. Like let's talk about Puff Daddy Sean Combs. So I'll take an
Yeah.
article about him, and I'll have it in the background as my green screen, and also just start talking about it, and then people will make comments. But these are real comments. They're not me trying to be funny. Sometimes I'm funny in my thing, but I'm being authentic about, okay, how did this happen? How did somebody ruin their entire legacy over sex? It just doesn't make sense to me. It's just ridiculous. Or
Yeah.
if I see something about abortion rights, I'll say, okay, now this person's coming to try to tell us what to do. It doesn't make sense. They don't even understand the dynamics. So, so during the pandemic, I did this thing called TikTok University, and they were talking about what videos did the best. And the videos that did the best were the ones where people were being the most authentic. What happens there is that people see this person and they think, oh, this person understands me. I'm going to continue to watch this person because this is relatable. This is how Taylor Swift is very popular, because people think they can just call her up and say, hey, oh, you know about this breakup thing. They will listen to her music. Or people on TikTok just talking about crying about something that they went through. These are the videos that make more sense. These are the videos where people can align themselves. Even doing a YouTube short where you're talking about your own life. Like there's I just, my sister had a child in last January. I have a new nephew, and he loves this character called Miss Rachel. How did she start? Is because I think she had an autistic child or wasn't verbal or something like that, and she created this whole persona, and he started to talk again. I believe that's what happened. And my nephew just loves it. I think you can use these social media platforms, but you have to decide how you're going to use them. If you want something real, then you have to be authentic. It's just, you don't have to have all this flash behind you, but just basically talk, be real. So I think that there are ways to use it, and then there's the other side of things where people are not real and they're just trying to make money or become famous.
Right now, I think we are approaching the end of the year. Do you have certain projects or plans or dreams you would like to realize in the upcoming period?
Well, I've been working on this other cover that I'm working with these three other guys that I'm supposed to release at the end of this month. So we'll see how that works because we've been working on this since May of this year. I have another goal. I'm going to push my body as far as I can go. I mean, I think my body, women's rights, is a song that will play on forever and ever because we're continuously have to fight for our rights. I also plan to. My goal is to start writing a, an album dedicated to women and the empowerment of women. So that'll be my goal for next year. And I have some other projects that I'm going to be working on as well. Um, and possibly releasing my body in French as well.
Très bien. Alors, on va écouter Mon cœur et Mio cuerpo en espagnol también.
Sí, sí, oui.
Great. I'm very happy that you try to reach a broader audience as well, because as well in the United States, a lot of Latino, and here in Ecuador, where I am, a lot of people would like to listen to Spanish songs coming from the United States. So, Natalie, I wish you all the best and
Thank you.
appreciate very much coming to the live. I hope to receive you again when you have a new release to talk about it.
Yes, definitely. Definitely.
And best wishes for the upcoming release.
Thank
I
you.
hope you catch it before the end of the year.
Amen. Amen.
Amen.
From your lips to God's ears. Yes.
Thank you, Natalie, and enjoy the rest of the evening. And I hope I'll be following your work and also your social media and your press releases.
All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Take care. Have a lovely evening. Take care.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
All right. Bye.
Bye.